No, thank you very much. I'm sorry to shortcut, but I have a not expected meeting with DRDO tomorrow early morning, so I have to take a flight. So thank you very much. Distinguished audience and guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to try to give you my ideas about how to support Make in India policy. To implement a Make in India policy, you need a synergy between government and industry. Government will be responsible for setting an appropriate organization and relevant rules of application. Industry must be innovative and ready to invest in order to increase as quickly as possible the technology level of the country. I will address this question in the defense area from these 2 points of view based on my dual experience as Director of Strategy and Research and Development at the French MOD in my previous life, and now as Market Development Director at MBDA, the missile system company. In France, we have developed a Make in France policy. It was under the impulse of General de Gaulle in the early 60s. And about the organization of the government, these are a few ideas. First, the MOD needs an industrial and acquisition policy. This policy must be based first on identification of industry champions. These champions must be chosen for some strategic fields: fighters, helicopters, surface ships, submarines, missiles, armored vehicle satellites. 2 industry champions per strategic field is the ideal number to allow competition, but to prevent excessive expenses from the government. This division must take all the decision on the acquisition process. What has to be bought outside the country, what must be done inside the country. It must be in charge of planning, budget, and cash. And last but not the least, it must ensure the survivability of the industry champions by placing to them, awarding to them regularly contracts. Second organization, very important, is a dedicated acquisition division. All the acquisition must be performed by the same people in order to develop the best practice. Last but not the least, it is essential to have a good technical expertise division. This division is to contribute to the choice of industry champions, to prepare the technical documentation for the RFPs, to make a technical evaluation of industry offers, to award R&D contracts in accordance with the industrial and acquisition policy. It is obvious that the 3 divisions that I have quickly described must work together and be placed under a single authority reporting directly to the defense minister. In order to have a robust expertise, you need personnel fully dedicated to acquisition along their professional life. Armed forces are not involved in the acquisition task. They keep control of the acquisition through the budget and the requirements. The existence of a good technical division for expertise has led France to suppress the trials during the acquisition process. These trials can face some difficulties in order to assess the different competitors. If the equipment is bought on the shelf and already qualified by another country, then these trials have no real justification. If the equipment is to be developed and produced in India, the control of the program is in the hands of the acquisition division. The best practice is to buy together development and production, and to save budget, which will propose to the end user an acceptance test before delivery of the equipment. These tests are under the budget of the acquisition program and are limited to save budget. From the point of view of local industry, the above organization has provided enough visibility for the future to encourage innovation and investment by industry. I understand the Indian government is heading progressively towards the organization that I have described. Now, the Make in France process took more than 20 years. I must say up to 40 years. Because France could not benefit from a technology transfer from foreign countries, the US, for instance. The Make in India process could take only a few years thanks to partnership with friendly countries. The French government and the French industry have proposed such a partnership, for instance, in the field of missiles. The best approach is to make a design in India. Design in India is a genuine Make in India because it provides the conceptual capability, the innovation capability. Production in India for Indian armed forces and export is the second step of this model. The third step is a transfer of technology as requested by the Indian customer. In order to be successful, the transfer of technology must be progressive to allow absorption by Indian industry. This new cooperation model will progressively reduce acquisition in foreign countries, establish a real autonomy of Indian industry, and create skilled jobs in DRDO, DPSUs, and private sector, especially in the field of missile in the Telangana area. It is clear that such a model is not possible without a strong bilateral cooperation between the government. But it is the only way to get autonomy in future. As a conclusion, I believe strongly in the Make in India policy because I have participated personally to the Make in India, to the Make in France policy. And therefore now, as I am in industry, I support the Make in India policy. India has the brains to absorb quickly state-of-the-art technology with the support, when needed, of faithful partners. India will then export its products on a large scale. And I foresee that in some time, Make in India will become Make to the World. Thank you very much.